Hey soldiers, we got another retail giant that's picking up stakes and saying, hey, we got to get out of the city because our employees are in danger, they feel threatened, and we are losing a lot of money to theft. Now, we went to the politicians and we tried to tell them what was going on, but they're more interested in, notions of, equity and social justice than they are with, improving the city for the law-abiding tax-paying citizens. So we've got the option to get out of here. We're going to leave. Good luck to you all. We're going to take our jobs. We're going to take our taxes with us. All right, so you're starting to see more and more of this. Again, it's less of a political sea change than it is an economic one. Money is flowing to where it's treated best. Hit subscribe. Become a soldier of finance. It's very easy to do. Let me know you did it in the comments and I will salute you. I salute all of the soldiers of finance all around the world. Now, I need you to do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up. Let YouTube know. When you hit that thumbs up, that's a vote of confidence. And it lets YouTube know that you believe this content needs to be shared with other people. So go ahead and do that. That's a very, proactive way of sharing the content. Another one is to hit share. Get that link. Send it to a loved one. Send it to a friend. Let them know what's going on. All right, let's jump right into this. I'm not familiar with these guys. We're over here on the East Coast. We don't have them over here, at least not where I live. REI, an outdoor kind of place. They're going to close their Portland store, citing safety of our employees and out-of-control thefts. Add outdoor retail giant REI to the growing list of companies planning to close stores in Portland. All right, because of rampant lawlessness in the Democrat-controlled city. Okay, so I don't know how people intend to, get jobs, pay bills, eat, save for retirement if they're, got to get up and travel 50 miles to get to a job. Now, it's retail. I worked retail at Radio Shack back in the day when I was a young man. And at the time, I was working 2 other jobs. I had 3 jobs. You can't make a living off of most of the retail jobs. At least you couldn't when I was coming up. Oregon Live said REI notified customers on Monday about plans to close its store in Portland's Pearl District early next year. The retailer said its store in Portland, quote, had its highest number of break-ins and thefts in 2 decades, despite actions to provide extra security. So it's only so much security you can provide, right? What you going to bring? A battalion of Marines in next? I mean, I don't know. It's just untenable. And it gets to the point where if you got to provide all this security, I don't frequent places like that. There was this place, it was a restaurant, nice Chinese food restaurant that, and when I was coming up, this is the place to be, man. The food was great, service was great, ambiance, the whole 9 yards, okay? A friend of mine who is her and her husband are business owners, and they are very nice people, very mature. They're older, and they make a lot of money, okay? And they're pillars of the community. And the wife says, I went into this particular restaurant that we all used to know and love, and they had a metal detector. And I said, well, what did you do? She said, well, I had a business meeting. I sat down and I ate, and I thought it was like it was 20 years ago, but it wasn't. They had a metal detector. You break out a metal detector on me anywhere but an airport, I'm out. Okay? Because if you got a metal detector in the Chinese food restaurant, something ain't kosher. Then, a few months after she told me about that, the owner of the place was coming outside locking up for the night, and he got attacked and robbed. So, that's not the place where me as a customer, I wouldn't bring my money there, okay? While we don't believe a downtown Portland location will be possible in the near term, our stores in Tarleton, Hillsborough, and Clackamas remain open and ready to outfit you with the gear and device you need to enjoy life outside, REI told customers. That first part of that, while we do not believe a downtown Portland location will be possible in the near term, you have failed as a mayor if you got this retailer who's providing people in your city with jobs and products. You have failed as a mayor if A major company is writing that. REI spokesperson Megan Burbaum told the local media outlet that REI had made numerous investments in theft prevention, including hiring private security, surveillance technology, and security glass. She said despite all of this, the break-ins and shoplifting continued. You know why. The extra security measures required to keep customers and employees safe are not financially stable, okay? Of course not. You're increasing your expenses, all the while stuff is walking out and nobody's paying for it. We will continue to invest in these areas through the remainder of our lease, but cannot justify continuing this expense through a lease extension beyond early 2024. So that's the soonest they can get out of there. That's when the lease is going to expire. REI has been added to the list of major retailers shuttering stores in Portland. Walmart, Cracker Barrel, okay, they got out of there last month. Nike also closed the store. We covered this to public access, telling city officials that shoplifting was the cause. Nike actually tried to go out there and get their own little private police force by saying, hey, we'll pay the overtime for the Portland Police Department. The mayor said no, and I'd like that. You shouldn't be able to do that, okay? You should either have the cops or you can hire your own private security, Nike, okay? You can co-opt the city police. And Nike is one of these progressive companies, okay? So you live by the sword, you die by the sword, Nike. I'm sure they backed a lot of these causes that have resulted in prosecutions that are prosecutors who take a light hand to crime. According to the Portland Police Bureau, burglaries, robberies, vehicle thefts, and vandalism have surged over the last several years. The jump in violent crime comes just after the city elected a progressive district attorney in 2019 that implemented social justice reforms that have largely backfired. So suck it, Portland. You put people like that in office, and it's just gonna. We almost did it here, all right. And I would have had to suffer along with the people that put the DA in. Some guy, he was Soros backed. He was, straight down the line progressive. He sent his literature out, and he wasn't talking about reducing crime. He was talking about equity. And I'm like, well, hey man, don't you know you are applying for the job of a prosecutor? Portland was once known as the crown jewel of the West Coast for its trendy art and food shops, but it is now transforming into a liberal hellhole of lawlessness as businesses have no choice but to exit to protect their margins. Somebody in the comments the other day made a good point. They say, hey, you know what? A lot of these places are starting to look like Escape from New York. Absolutely. Go watch the movie Children of Men with Clive Owen. I strongly believe that now it's kind of on a science fiction thing, but it's based in like a few years into the future. And the society that they're in London, okay, is very dystopian. And I actually think we're going into something like that. So check out the movie Children of Men with Clive Owen. That's what I think is going to happen. More broadly, Portland isn't the only liberal metro area experiencing business flight. Out of touch city leaders in Chicago. Okay, you saw what they did here recently when the rampaging kids tore through the city and, vandalized things, beat people up. Clockwork Orange. That's another. Actually, what's happening in the real world, this is a case of truth being stranger than fiction. What's happening in the real world makes a Clockwork Orange look like a cakewalk. Okay. Anyway, the people in Chicago complaining about Walmart leaving, saying that they were actually the culprits behind the situation. No one likes to take responsibility, right? But REI is out. They said, you know what, guys, you can have it. Enjoy. We're gone. You're going to see more and more of that. These big businesses are leaving. You could bet the mom and pops are calling it quits because they don't have money to go as far as REI, Walmart, or Nike do with regard to protective measures, right? Then there's a big liability. Someone comes in to steal something, they get belligerent, maybe they pull out a weapon, and they're dealt with, who you think the prosecutor in that town then is going to go into action. Okay, just like they did with Jose Alba up in New York. Okay, you try to protect yourself, that's when you're going to see some prosecution. Okay, we'll be talking about equity for you. Okay, all right, guys, look, Apple, they just came out with a killer app that might really disrupt the banks. Why don't you take a look at that video? Also, earlier we tagged you on the video we did about the crime situation that we did a week ago. Watch that too. But go ahead, check out what Apple is doing in the finance industry. This is some exciting times. And I don't know, Apple, if you're an Apple customer, this may interest you. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.